Okay, welcome to the Spotlight. This is Fourth Down Magazine's weekly fireside chat, and it is the final fireside chat of the 2021 season with the movers and shakers on the field in the Mid-Penn Conference. It's state championship week in Pennsylvania, which we are later than almost everybody else in the country, but who knows why, but we are. But if we're talking this football in December, that means Mid-Penn Conference has got a team in the state championship. I'm Andy Shay. I'm going to be your moderator, and we do. Our guest this week wears number 44 for the Bishop McDevitt Crusaders. They are the team in the state final, by the way. They're 12-1 overall. They will play for the Class 4A title Thursday night. He's a 6'2", 195-pound linebacker. He also does some blocking and work at tight end on offense, but we're going to talk about defense tonight. Please welcome Ryan Russo to the Spotlight. Ryan, thank you so much for joining us. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me on.
This is awesome. Okay, this is how it works. I'm going to have a chat with Ryan. I'm going to ask him some fun questions, maybe a little one or two toughies about the Crusaders. And they're the first McDevitt team, by the way, to play for the state championship since 2013. And then at the end, Ryan, we're going to put you on the Spotlight hot seat for a few short answer questions to close us out. Before I start peppering Ryan with questions, though, let me throw some of his defensive stats at you for this season. He leads the Crusaders in tackles with 119 total. That's in 13 games. He's got 51 solo stops. He's second on the teams in tackles for a loss with 14.5. He's got 3.5 sacks, 1 interception, 2 forced fumbles, 1 fumble recovery. And remember, he didn't play much during the regular season because most of their games were over by halftime. So, Ryan, again, thanks for joining us. Let's get going. I just have one question out of the chute. Has anybody mentioned 1995 to you this week yet?
Yeah, actually I talked to because I also play basketball for McDevitt, so one of the coaches was congratulating me on making it, and they said we haven't won one since 1995. So
yeah, it's a thing at McDevitt. Like, I'm sorry, it was kind of a joke, but I couldn't resist. For you historian types, Ryan's right. McDevitt last won the state title in 1995. That was when your athletic director, Tommy Mealy, is assistant coach. He was a do-rag wearing running back, but I'm just going to let that go. But it is a big deal for some reason. If you play for McDevitt, you hear about 1995. Am I correct or wrong?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So, but let's talk about 2021, and let's talk about this defense. 13 games, 84 points surrendered. You guys knew what you had coming into the season on this side of the ball. You knew a lot of the parts, but I wanted to get your opinion on how this defense has sort of evolved over the course of the season to becoming a very talented group with a lot of good football players to becoming pretty much a dominant group right now.
Yeah, like you said, we obviously knew a lot of the pieces because we had a lot of returning players from last year. But yeah, we definitely there's definitely some new people working in that didn't see the field last year, like Chase Reagan, for example.
Right.
And some new faces like that. It helps us work in some different packages that help us get a different look.
Gotcha. Did not making the playoffs last year, is that kind of a thing with this team or not? I'm just asking out of curiosity. Was that like a burr in your saddle, or are you guys way past that by now? I'm just wondering.
Yeah, it was definitely extra motivation because last year we were 6-0, and
right,
we felt like we could have made a pretty good playoff run, but we didn't have the opportunity to.
Okay, so let's talk about Bishop Shannon last week. That's the team McDevitt beat 28-21 in the state semifinal at Coachville High School last Friday night. Well of a football game, by the way. It was a good football game. A little bit of a chess match on both sides. Talent across the board. Let's be honest, the reason McDevitt won, their defense was simply spectacular. 31 and a half minutes. The last 31 and a half minutes of that football game, Bishop Shannon did not have an offensive touchdown, and McDevitt's defense scored on a pick six. So they also contributed. And there was the 3-4-3 thing that everybody knows about now that has been talked about. Like, McDevitt came out in a 3-4, but they're used to playing a 4-3, and it didn't go so well, and they switched back and it was lights out. But all the other thing is, you're hard to miss on the field. You and Riley Rebel, right? When you guys are playing defense, you can't miss you two guys. But they were able to kind of make you guys invisible in the first half. Just making those adjustments from the 3-4 to the 4-3, that wasn't it. What were some of the other things you guys kind of changed up, or that made a difference for you? Because in the second half you were everywhere. and Riley was just all up in their grill the entire second half. That's what you guys do. How did you get to that? And what besides switching from 3-4 to 4-3 did you guys do?
Yeah, I definitely agree. I don't think I was playing very well in the first half, and then
Yeah, I don't think that was your fault though. They were staying away from you guys, but you weren't in a position to run side to side though. But that's between you and me. Don't be so hard on yourself, because I was watching. I'm like, yeah, everybody looked uncomfortable, didn't they? Everybody on defense was uncomfortable.
Yeah, they came out strong, and then we made some adjustments at halftime. And one thing that I personally had to focus on was just spying their quarterback, because obviously they have a very fast, shifty quarterback. So we didn't want to let him get too many yards like by foot. So
excellent. What did you? And I know you guys went from zone to man. That seemed to make all the difference for you guys in the secondary. Could you tell, as you know, one of the guys calling the defense is making a lot of signals, that they were just more comfortable? Could you see it in their faces, or did you just have to see it in their play?
I definitely noticed, just like through the play of the game,
right.
You know, our secondary did a great job on their receivers when we did go into man. And also Bryce Enders, one of our linebackers, had to do a lot of coverage that game, and I think he did a very good job.
Yeah, you guys your defense has been solid all year, but I've been saying for quite a bit while, and I'm not taking credit for this, but you could just tell, like, this defense was hiding sort of in the weeds, is what I like to say. You were hiding behind all the running backs. They're really good, both of them. All the wide receivers, got a ton of them. The young quarterback who was excelled. 50-something points a game. That was all anybody could talk about McDevitt. And I'm like, this defense is really, really good, and they're going to make a difference if this team's going to make a run. But now you guys believe, like, this defense is a unit, because after the last 2 weeks, I know from talking to a lot of the guys on it, that they're just like, yeah, we're going to win the game no matter what. We just believe that now. There's a difference of knowing you're really good and believing you can win a football game on that side of the ball. Can you explain to me how you see the difference in the two and what it's like from your perspective?
Yeah, I think we do definitely go into the games, and we just fully believe that we are going to win. And I think part of it comes from, like you said, our offense is also very explosive. So we're able to trust that they'll do their job and we'll do our job. And we'll just help each other out through the game.
Who's the guy on defense that's come the furthest in 2021 on your mind? I mean, you know these guys. You're a senior. You're making the calls out there. I'm looking for the most improved guy, in your opinion, who added just another rock on the foundation of this defense that was already pretty darn good. Who is it?
I think, like I mentioned earlier, Chase Reagan, definitely most improved, because he didn't really see the field last year, and then this year he's come and he's had some great games. Like last week against Bishop Shanahan, he made a big impact.
Yeah, he was really good last week, and he tackled so well in space. That makes a difference. Mm-hmm. And he was sticky all game especially in the second half. And that's a good call. Okay, you guys, McDevitt has a few uniform combinations. They're all gold helmets, but they do a lot of different jersey and pant combos. Which one is your favorite? Just curious.
Personally, I like the white jerseys and the gold pants.
Nice.
Yeah, we've only worn it once this year, but I don't know why that's my favorite. I just think it looks good.
Cool. All right, this is a yes or no question, and I need your honesty hat. Before you played Lampeter Strasburg in the district final, I say to you, okay, Ryan, your offense is only going to score 4 touchdowns in this game and the next game, and you're going to win them both. Believe, yes or no?
No, I probably would not have believed that. Good just because of the past games. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you think about that. That was one of the things I took away Friday night. I was like, hold on a sec. McDevitt's offense has scored 4 touchdowns the last 8 quarters. And you won a district championship and a state semifinal. That's not easy. Looking back, I want you to go back real quick. You guys lost week 1, right? You played LaSalle College, good 6A football team, good program. Looking back now, kind of a good thing for you guys? Yes or no, and why?
Yeah, I think it was good just because, like you said, they're a great team and they play 6A. So, they play teams like St. Joe's Prep, and they actually beat St. Joe's Prep one time this year. So just knowing that, like, obviously we lost 21-0, but knowing that, like, we can play at that level. It was, it was like, it was kind of like it opened some people's eyes in the beginning of the season,
Yeah.
knowing that, we're not just going to dominate everyone, but also we can play at that level if we continue to improve.
Yeah, the surprise takeaway for me game was that you guys got shut out. I didn't think you gave up 21 points that team. I'm like, yeah, defense had a good night, but the 0 points is what surprised me. And it was a 50-50 game all the way, but your offense, freshman quarterback, right? The guy needs a few games. Come on, give him a break. I mean, it's big games. He's the quarterback. He's a freshman. He doesn't want to mess everything up. It's understandable what he's going through. You have to experience it to understand it. But I wanted to ask you one last question, then I'm going to put you on the hot seat. It's so hard to stay sharp and play at such a high level, especially this season. I mean, let's just be honest. Almost all teams you played in the regular season provided you guys very little or no real tests. That's just the fact. They just couldn't compete with you guys. And even the ones you thought might, you just like Cedar Cliff, you just boat raced them. So how did this defense stay sharp and focused so that when you guys were asked, and that was a big ask against LS, and that was a big ask made of this defense last week, what do you think you guys did during that sort of time where you were killing everybody 56-7 that prepared you guys for when that moment came that you were really, really counted on? Can you sort of explain that to me a little bit?
Well, I know personally I didn't let those games get to my head because, like, obviously we went into those games and we knew that that wasn't the goal of the season. Obviously, we wanted to make it to the state championship, not just win games in our conference.
Right.
But I think for me and a lot of other people on the defense, we were dying to like play full games. So sitting out at halftime, like we couldn't wait to play a full game. And
right.
Yeah.
It's hard too, right? Like it's a long season. And you're like, it's hard to stay sharp like that. Everyone's like, well, they're not tested. And I'm like, no, I think it's harder for you to actually be prepared for the moment. And you guys proved that you were. I think that's a harder thing to do than being in a ringer game week after week and like, oh, they've been tested every week. They'll be ready for this. I think it's 10x harder when you're not being tested to pass that test in the week. So congrats to you and the guys on the defense. You guys have been outstanding all year. You got one more week to do it. Let's throw you on the hot seat, Ryan. Are you ready?
Yes.
Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas sweet treats? Which one?
I'd say Thanksgiving dinner. Yeah.
All right. On a beach or in the mountains?
Probably beach.
All right. College football on Saturday or NFL football on Sunday? Which one?
College football on Saturday for me.
Excellent. We talked about high school football uniforms and McDevitt's. Now I'm going to ask you, who is your favorite high school football uniform and helmet combination that is not McDevitt's?
I have to say Central Dolphin just because I love their helmets with the ram, and I think the green and white looks good.
It is. The Kelly green and white looks good. All right, last one before we let you get out. What is your go-to order at Sheetz? Hand it over.
Definitely the mac and cheese bites. I can't get enough of those.
Anything else? You get a wrap? Do you get a sandwich or just straight mac and cheese bites and go for the appetizers?
Yeah, when I'm ordering, I just get the mac and cheese bites and probably like a protein shake or something.
There you go. That's what a lot of guys said this season, like, I'll get just an app plate and get like 3 apps and then a chocolate milk or a protein shake or something.
Yeah.
They're trying to help themselves. It's like adults drinking Diet Coke, right? Hey, Ryan, we really appreciate your time. I know you guys play on Thursday night. It's a short week. It's a different week. It's only one day, but it really doesn't matter. Good luck to you guys and the Crusaders this week. Stay healthy, play well against the Quips Thursday night, and make sure that the future Crusaders don't have to answer any 1995 questions, right? So there you go.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on.
All right, that was Ryan Russo, linebacker. He also plays tight end, but he is the linebacker for Bishop McDevitt, joining us on the spotlight. Make sure you check out all our high school football content on fourthdownmagazine.com. Follow us on social media or check out our YouTube page. For one last time, he's Adam, and he's hiding behind the Zoom curtain. I guarantee you he's back there. I'm your moderator, Andy Shay. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you.